What's up, Raging Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching a Marvel edition of the Raging Nation show. This is just a web series where we talk about all things that matter to me in the world of Marvel films. This is episode number 92, and in this episode, I'd like to first start off by doing a box office update on Ant-Man. Ant-Man is a film that I really enjoyed. It is a film that I got to put up there as one of my top 5 films to come out this summer. It's also a film that I saw twice. Now, I'm very happy to report that Ant-Man has now moved up a spot in the worldwide box office of the 12-film ranking of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The Marvel Cinematic Universe currently has 12 films, and originally it was stuck at the 11th spot right above The Incredible Hulk. But now, as of today, it is taking the number 10 spot, which was originally held by Captain America the First Avenger. Captain America the First Avenger has made $370.6 million worldwide. Now, Ant-Man has made $384.6 million worldwide. That's a $14 million difference, and I'm very happy for Ant-Man. Now, domestically, Ant-Man is actually $2.6 million behind Captain America the First Avenger. Now, what does that tell us? I don't know, I'm just looking at this, and what this tells me is that Captain America the First Avenger is a character, or a film rather, that was more well-received from the domestic audiences. American audiences, they love patriotism. After all, the character is named Captain America. So, generally speaking, Captain America is a film that would appeal more to American audiences. Now, I was speaking to some international fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or rather Marvel films and comics, and they said that they enjoyed Captain America the First Avenger, but it definitely wasn't their favorite. I mean, they liked other films like Guardians of the Galaxy, Iron Man, Winter Soldier, and Ant-Man. Okay, it was more well received internationally, and I think it has to do with the fact that it has a more general appeal. I mean, after all, it deals with a very human story. There's more emotion involved. I mean, Captain America, he's a soldier. He's a soldier that fought in World War II against the Nazis. So I'm just thinking right there, because of the content or the subject matter, I guess it appeals more to American audiences as opposed to international audiences, and that is why Ant-Man has done better at the global box office, or rather at the international box office, when compared to Captain America the First Avenger. But anyways, that's just an observation. What this really comes down to is what is going to happen next with Ant-Man and the future of the Ant-Man character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Well, first of all, we already know he's coming back in Captain America Civil War, and then we're maybe going to see him in some other Marvel Cinematic Universe solo films. But I'm pretty positive that we are going to see him in Avengers Infinity War. Which one of those, or both of them, I'm not sure. But when you sign on to be a part of a film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you don't just sign on for one film. It is a multi-picture contract deal. Now, what I'm curious about is that when are we going to see another Ant-Man solo film? Most likely at the earliest 2020. After all, that's when Phase 4 happens. Phase 3 has already been mapped out, and nowhere do I see Ant-Man 2 in the Phase 3 schedule. So at the earliest, we will be seeing Ant-Man in 2020, or rather Ant-Man 2 in 2020. So that will possibly be his next solo film. Now, moving on, let's talk about something that is also box office related, and that is the fact that Disney has officially declared that Avengers Age of Ultron was a failure. Even at $1.4 billion, it is considered a failure. Now, I had certain expectations for Avengers Age of Ultron, and while I found it very entertaining, those expectations certainly weren't met. I thought that Avengers Age of Ultron had a weaker story when compared to The Avengers, and I also thought that Avengers Age of Ultron had a lot of power to pull in a bigger box office than Marvel's The Avengers. Marvel's The Avengers made $1.5 billion worldwide. Avengers Age of Ultron made $1.4 billion worldwide. That's $100 million less. It should have made more. When you really think about it, you have a lot of anticipation. You have a huge fan following. This is the biggest Marvel film to date. And with tons of superstars in this film. And a lot of characters. And what happened here? Why did it do $200 million less domestically? Why did North American audiences not contribute $200 million to the domestic box office? Marvel's The Avengers did $644 million in North America alone. Avengers Age of Ultron did $200 million less. This should not be happening. Honestly speaking, I don't really care that much, but the fact is that it made a lot less money than the original, and it is quite mind-boggling. So Disney considers it a failure, and, well, because of that, they got to change up their strategy if they want to repeat the same success as Marvel's The Avengers, or rather the high box office numbers as Marvel's The Avengers when the time comes for Avengers Infinity War comes around. You definitely don't want to make less money, especially when your sequel comes with a part 1 and a part 2. Because if part 1 doesn't do as good, then definitely part 2 is not going to do that much better. Alright, so they're going to have to rework their strategy, and I guess they would consider it a failure considering their competing studio, Universal Pictures, beat them twice. Furious 7 did $1.5 million, and what's that other film? Jurassic World did $1.6 billion. So they did it with CG dinosaurs. And Furious 7 did it with car stunts. So they couldn't even beat them with Robert Downey Jr. and the rest of the Avengers cast all together. So what is going on here? I mean, let's look at the quality of this film. Marvel's The Avengers, the first one did 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, and Avengers Age of Ultron did 20% less than that. So now you already know that the quality in this sequel is already lacking. Okay? So yeah, I mean that's what happened. So anyways, Disney, or rather Marvel Studios, better step up their game, especially if they're going to try to do better when it comes to the next sequel, Avengers Infinity War Parts 1 and 2. Alright, so moving on, let's talk about Captain America Civil War, which has wrapped. They wrapped, I think, a month ago. But it turns out they're going to make some changes to what has already been done. Now, there were already reports that Mark Ruffalo is going to be in Captain America Civil War. It was 100% official that he was going to appear. But now that has changed. Apparently, the story of Hulk, and aka Bruce Banner, has been written out. It's completely cut out. The last time we saw Bruce Banner as the Hulk was in Avengers Age of Ultron, and then he flew off into the Quinjet and just took a dive into some ocean. And that was the last time we saw him. And then he's supposed to return in Captain America Civil War, and then it would explain what happened to him. But apparently, Marvel Studios wants to save that for later, and I'm not sure why. Maybe they think it's too early to bring him back, but the fact is that he's not going to be in it. Now, I'm just curious, when they said that Hulk is not going to be in it, do they mean that we're not going to see the Hulk, but we're still going to see Bruce Banner, Mark Ruffalo just as Bruce Banner? Or is he going to be cut out completely? After all, Mark Ruffalo did film scenes in Germany when filming Captain America Civil War, but I don't know if they completely cut him out 100%, or if they just cut out the Hulk scenes and he won't be Hulk smashing when it comes to Civil War, as in the final battle. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what's going on, but don't expect to see the Hulk at all in Captain America Civil War, which is quite disappointing. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is Chris Evans. And a little while back, Chris Evans did mention that after he's done with appearing in The Avengers, and after he's done with appearing in Captain America Civil War, he's done with Marvel. He said he wants to retire the Captain America character, and that he wants to get into directing and telling his own stories, which is something that he really, really wanted to do. But looks like that has changed. Looks like we could be getting more Captain America, because Chris Evans officially has changed his mind about what he said earlier about not wanting to be a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe anymore. It's not that he didn't want to be part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe anymore. It is that he wants to move on to other things. He doesn't hate the Marvel. He doesn't hate the Captain America character. He wasn't tired of reprising the role. He just said he wanted to move on to more artistic things like directing and telling his own stories. And this is what he was quoted saying: "Listen, if Marvel wants me, they got me. I've never had such a relationship where you have such, I mean, look at my resume. I'm used to being on set being like, is this movie going to be terrible? Marvel just can't stop making great movies. They do it in their sleep. It's wonderful directors and producers and actors and scripts, and it's like a playground as an actor." End quote. So, you know what? I can totally relate to this, okay? Even though I'm not a superstar like Chris Evans, I worked at Little Caesars Pizza for 7 years, okay? I told myself that after 2 or 3 years, I was gonna quit. Okay, but I stayed on for 4 years, and you know why? It's because of the people I worked with. It wasn't the job that, you know, that was fun. It was the people that I loved being around. My coworkers, my superiors. I loved working with them. And while the job was, you know, had its challenges and had its, you know, moments where I just wanted to get out of there, it wasn't enough to make me want to quit. It's the people that I was surrounded with that made me want to stay. Being at Little Caesars Pizza had no future for me, but I kept staying there for as long as I could because I loved the company. And that is exactly how Chris Evans feels. He feels that, you know what, I work with such a great team. I work with a creative bunch of people, and for me to leave this would be, I guess, detrimental to his career, because, or his quality of life even, because you know, you are surrounded with all these great people, wonderful people that really make your day feel like, okay, this was worth it. Every day I wake up for this, you know, it's a really, really satisfying, very, very fulfilling experience. And why would I want to leave that? All right. So anyways, we can expect to see Captain America after Phase 3, after Avengers Infinity War, if Kevin Feige and Disney decide that there is room for more Captain America. So that could happen. So we could be getting Ant-Man in Phase 4, and we also could be seeing Captain America again, also in Phase 4. And there's plenty more stories to tell in Phase 4. But anyways, what do you guys think about all of that? Let me know how you feel in the comment section below. And also, I want to ask you guys a question, and that is, who do you want to see Captain America fight in another Captain America solo film? In Captain America 4, if it's actually coming in Phase 4, who do you want to see him go up against? And also, who do you want to see Ant-Man go up against in Ant-Man 2? When and if it comes out in Phase 4. Let me know in the comment section below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Raging Nation. Also follow me on Twitter, @RagingNation. My name's Alex Yu. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. Films, or rather all 3 of these films, American Ultra, Long Kiss Goodnight, and Bourne Identity, are about a spy who doesn't remember that he's a spy. Okay?